everyone needs to see the people that they elect, and to think through the people that they will choose to vote for over time in the next elections. It's important work that Webfit does, so that people can see and learn about the people who are involved in the politics.
If you have to choose one word, whole life national, or there are some chances? Once a national, always a national?
Hi, Paulo.
Hello.
My name is Ravi, and I'm from Webfitnews. And I'm here, basically, we wanted to understand your viewpoint, right? This year is a year of election. So that makes this year a little more, highlighted and full of events. So that's the reason, and first of all, I want to thank you and your team for being very prompt, and responding, scheduling, and so thank you.
Thank you.
So you can be proud of your team for sure. Yeah. So, direct to the point, okay? Before we walk policies, we talk about policies or anything. Then you can tell me, honestly, when was the last time a voter stopped you and said something that stayed with you?
It happens all the time, but mostly not face to face, but on social media. I get a lot of messages from Facebook Messenger. A lot not good, a lot good. And it's very encouraging when I get messages that I feel are from the heart, whether it is a negative opinion or a positive one. You can easily see the genuine intention behind the message, because there's so many messages, and so many are in the forms of what I would think would be organized. But there are the gems,
Right.
and I give feedback to my caucus.
Right.
When I hear something good or something bad, I would bring it.
So any one of the recent one which you remember and what?
Yes. Actually, the most recent one was just a few days ago, from a medical doctor, and who was saying that the 12-month prescription, from their point of view, from this doctor's point of view, was a good thing, because then people don't really have to come for a renewed prescription for, let's say, 3 months, unless they have to. So it gives choice. I thought that was a good thing, because I normally would only go to my GP if I felt unwell.
Right.
Which I think is very practical for the most people. So hearing from a doctor saying that was a good thing is very encouraging.
Thank you for that. So this was a positive note. Let's talk about some negatives. Okay, that which has really moved you, and you want to rethink about it.
Yes. So I think the most recent feedback, in fact, from some people that I know personally in Yulin, who I've met over the years, is Plan 120, Plan Change 120.
Right.
So there's a lot of emotion and uncertainty. And I was saying to this friend of mine, it's actually a friend. I said to him, this is under consideration. And while I didn't want to preempt anything, and I'm not part of the cohort that run the Plan Change 120 discussions, I am aware that it's still under consideration and being thought through.
Right.
So I was trying to make him feel less anxious, because you don't know yet.
Right.
But he was anxious because he wanted it not to progress, and that he felt that he would not be able to stop it.
Right.
And I said, well, I think give it a little bit of time, so that when you see all of the details and the feedback and when the resulting final policy, then that's the time that we can chat again.
Right.
So yeah, that was very negative.
No, that right. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Now, before I move to the next question, I want to understand, this is very important for the viewers who are listening. Am I talking to an MP who is in the politics from past 10 years or so? Or I'm talking to Paulo, the person, the human who understands the pain, who knows, common man's issue right now?
I think it's both.
Mm-hmm.
It is a fact that I've been involved in politics for a little over 10 years,
Right.
but not as a sitting MP throughout.
Right.
So when you start becoming, when you think of becoming a candidate and to run for an election for member of parliament, normally we think in terms of 3 terms, because that's the normal cycle of political change in New Zealand. So I got in, and then I was out in the middle. In 2020, I didn't get back in, and 23, I won the seat. So there's 10 years of involvement, more or less. I am, I think, a quintessential normal bloke person. And so when I say people give their concerns to me, whether it's housing or whether it's an issue with police or whether it's a mental health issue or education, I'm a dad, so I feel it. I feel the concern. Some things I cannot deal with on a personal level.
Right.
That's a bit frustrating. But then I get to feed that back, which is the job, I think, the main role, which I do. And that's been the job, really.
Definitely. People who are listening, I want to tell you, he is a family person. He's a sitting MP. He has been in active politics for 10 years. One more role he plays, not many of you know, he's an advocate. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So how does that helps you? If you want to just give me a short answer, does that really help, or you think that brings another noise to your head?
Wow, fantastic question. It helps because you're on the footing that you're thinking of what you can do for the individual who's approached you.
Right.
And there are a lot of levers that we can, as members of parliament, do for the normal person who comes through our door asking for help. So I think that's a very busy aspect of this office. Is a very busy aspect of being a member of parliament. It's amazing.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Priya, you handled it well. If you had to describe how life feels for ordinary Kiwi families right now in one word, what would it be?
Challenging.
You agree to that, right?
Yeah, challenging.
Now, inflation numbers look better. Like yesterday only we published one news article, but people still feel the stretched, right? So what is the one cost you think hurts households the most right now?
Well, cost of living. I do my own grocery and I cook. So the cost of putting food on the table is still high.
Right.
The object of changing that, I aspire for, and I hope to see that change at some point. But there are multiple factors that are involved in making that change happen, so that my egg or my potato or my sugar will cost less. That also includes giving me the opportunity to earn more and keep more of that money.
Right.
So I think the trajectory of New Zealand now is the correct trajectory, except that for the most number of people, they still feel they don't feel it. It's still hard.
Right.
And I the only thing I can say, coming from the inside, looking ahead, is that in time, the object is for people to actually feel it.
Right. Thank you so much for that answer. So while you were talking, I remember I was reading a Webfitnews article where they have highlighted, if you talk about the line bill, which has gone if we talk about 2024, right now we are in 26, we can compare, everything has gone up, including the gas, including the light bill, and the grocery, of course, right? The amount of money we used to spend to fill our car, that has gone higher, right? So now when the national government is making policies, do you think that these things, another factor, like if you will compare our dollar value with the US, that has also impacted recently and that has gone 3 years low. Now, when my question was, what I was coming to, that when national parties working on their policies announcement, do you think these things does get into consideration, or you think that this is something not in control, so you could guys just let it go or you work on the policies to make things better?
So honestly, it is very much front and center, this cost of living and the hardship of New Zealanders. But the solution is one that will take a little bit of time.
Right.
And the reason behind that is an unproportionally large amount of debt that New Zealanders, for the first time, essentially are dealing with. The fact that tax money goes into paying that debt reduces the availability of funds. Like a father,
right,
at home, your cash on hand, because of the mortgage and all of the things that you need to pay for, cash on hand is really quite low. And things have to be prioritized. So it hurts.
right.
But I am confident that in due course, over time, that will improve. So economically, and with the world, because the whole world is also in a state of change.
Right.
And there are a lot of challenges economically for a lot of countries. So the policies that National puts together now are aimed at pushing for economic growth and helping provide the atmosphere or the circumstances for businesses to keep going and hopefully do better.
Thank you so much for that answer. So you used word time to time and then you said national policy. So with that, can I say that, are you saying that, come on, give us one more term and we make the cheap? Are you saying that? I'm giving you an opportunity. Speak to the audience, right? Yeah.
Yes, I think definitely time is needed. It can't be that a change now will be for the good. The trajectory of New Zealand is clear, that the trend is upward, but time is an element,
right,
of that change. So the hope is by the end of the year, coming towards elections, there will be even more palpable, a difference. But then it's really not an overnight fix.
Right. I get it. I totally understand.
Yeah.
Now, before people scroll up, I wanted to ask a very important question, which is a hot topic at the moment: FTA. So, if in one line you want to say, because you yourself seeing in your coalition government there are some rift, no? And I'm saying obviously you take a decision in your house, and not everybody agrees, which is fair enough. But do you think that you guys will be able to resolve it within the house?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think I'm confident. Yes. Just I think so. I'm confident. Yes.
Thank you. The other question which I want to ask, the recent incident, Brian Tamaki, I don't have to tell you more about it, more than this name. That do you think that your government is in conversation? Your government is, are you going to support them, or are you going to? What is your take on that?
That's a hard one. I am not privy to any discussion with respect to Mr. Tamaki, and so I don't think I can answer that truthfully or in a factual manner.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think I can give my reckons there.
No, definitely, and I respect that. No, but there was a Nagar Kirtan by Sikh community, and there was some rift happen. You must have seen two incidents. So do you want to say anything on that? If you want to comment.
Yes, I don't know enough of it.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know enough of it, and I'm not part of that discussion, so I don't think I could.
Sure.
Give a comment.
Thank you so much, Paul, again, for being so honest. Yeah. And what is the one thing this government understand when it came into power? What is the one thing this government underestimated when it came into power and you realize, no, this is really a big thing?
Oh, I don't think that the national government, the coalition, underestimated much. What I see has happened is that there have been policies where funds have been committed, but which were not drawn. And even if they were drawn, had finite funding for, so policies could not continue because there's no provision made. I think that's a matter of planning.
Right.
It is also a matter of truthfulness on the part of members of parliament.
Right.
That if you say, I am creating this policy and I will implement this policy in, let's say, 2027, 2028, then it means when I say it, I understand that there will be funds available for that at the time that I'm saying. I think that's the general responsibility, isn't it? So if it happens that at some point in the future, that fund does not exist or was not funded,
right,
then that is something that the coalition government might not have had the opportunity to know.
Definitely. Makes sense. Thank you so much for that. Yeah.
Because you see the policy.
Yeah.
And you assume, because it's been committed that there will be funds. But if there are no funds, then if that policy is to continue, it needs to be funded.
Right.
And so that fund might not have been allocated because there was an assumption that it would have been funded accordingly. Yeah.
Okay. I've taken that answer. Yeah. Thank you. Now, many people say that no longer trust politics. What do politicians do that unintentionally push people away, even when intentions are good?
I think it's important for politicians to actually mean what they say. I think you don't even have to be a politician to have to mean what you say. You as a media person, me as a lawyer, now as a member of parliament, if I say something, then I am assuming that people will take that word. And so we have to carry it out. The fact that what is said does not translate into action puts people off, and
Definitely.
It's hard to understand, and trust is diminished.
Right.
So unity of what you say and what you do, even in normal life, that's part of life.
And if you don't fulfill 100%, obviously people get disappointed, which is okay. Thank you for that. Now, when you are away from parliament, what brings you back to real life and keeps you grounded?
So I'm a lawyer. A lot because of parliament. My profile as a lawyer of Filipino descent has increased, and so I get a lot of calls. And not just from Filipinos, from friends of Filipinos and non-Filipinos, from the Indian community, from the Chinese community. I develop a large base, and people ask, and I see how people's lives are going.
Right.
There's a lot of conflict in the family space. That keeps me grounded. It makes me want to try harder. And I bring that to Parliament, saying, these things have been said, and I'm seeing this, and can we do something about this? And over time, a lot of the things that I have brought through, and my other colleagues would have done the same, have been remedied. Like, in the education system, A lot of kids come into school unprepared to be educated. That was the news today also.
Right.
And I've gone through the schools in Newlyn, and they say, there's a lot of support, teacher support that needs to be given to a lot of the students who come who might not be toilet trained, or who might need a little bit more person-to-person support. There's been an increase in funding for that space, and in recognition of that, but the increase in funding, it's always never enough.
Right.
And we move forward and try to achieve things, but yeah, in time, hopefully, that's my aspiration.
Right. No, totally get that. And you use word, Newlyn. So I want to understand, it's been almost a decade now, you have spent time. So whenever, it comes 3 word, I ask this question with everyone. So National, Newlyn, Paulo. What is the one sentence which frames?
I think police. I have a good relationship with the police station across the street, and with Avondale and Henderson. And in a way, I'm able to give them feedback and push a little.
Right.
I understand the challenges of policing and the hierarchy of need for their time. But then I've seen many situations where there's been some help for someone, which might have come a little bit earlier because of the work that we do here.
Right.
And that's very satisfying. And so that's one. So actually, peace and order, crime, this has been a concern of mine as a Newlyn resident.
Right.
And I think that's been improved.
Of course, let me be very honest. I mean, that is something which has definitely, improved. And the kind of incident used to happen before, now that has, I'll say 80% we are in control. Because I heard one news last night, so because of that, I'm reducing the 20% effects. All but thank you. But yeah, thank you so much for that. I did heard a couple of things which took place in Newlyn Mall as well, but that is unfortunate, and it can happen with anybody's being
It's right. It's right. Yeah.
So I'm not going to blame you for that. Thank you. So I give you the benefit of doubt. Okay. When people talk about your time as an MP, years from now, what do you hope they say?
That he did not change. That he was what he was from beginning to end. If not, probably, hopefully improved. I think I've improved. The reason why I've improved is I've seen much more people face to face and much more in depth into their experiences and lives over the past 10 years than I never would have.
Right.
If I didn't get in. I think I've built up a whole lot of empathy that it hurts. And I think that that's a good thing. I think human beings should be concerned for other people. And just the concern alone I see in this room, just the concern alone and the genuine intention to listen and to think about what they're saying matters a lot. Yeah, and not to discount. So I've learned a lot of these things. I think it's been an amazing journey for me in that sense. I wish for people to be able to see how other people live and are challenged, so that they can locate themselves. Thank you, I am blessed. Thank you, I don't have that. Thank you that I can sit here and listen to that and possibly help that. And if that was translated into every resident, everywhere, every human being, then we'd probably have a less anxious and angry humanity, because people are angry and anxious and yeah.
I'm very happy, Paulo, that you're talking from your heart, which means a lot, because me and you can hide feelings, but camera is something which captures everything. So I really appreciate, the words. Yes, thank you. Now, before we are moving towards the last section of our interview. When we are away from the parliament, what keeps you grounded and connected with everyday Kiwi's life?
So I operate a small law practice,
Okay.
and we forecast the services that we think we will be needed for over a 5-year plan.
Okay.
And more, our forecast has been about conflict resolution, not just with families, but with employment, with companies getting together and doing things together and then falling out. So conflict resolution is a big part of that. And what we want to try to do is prevent conflict. So that means writing up good agreements and making everything clear for people to understand what they sign on, and being responsible for saying to someone, sign that. They have to understand what they're signing. I think that keeps me aware of the challenges that people have. I also do a lot of parenting talks. So I talk to moms and dads.
Wow.
And I do that on my own and as a couple with my wife. And we see how parenting has become much more challenging with social media and with the attitudes of persons in general. So there is an inward focus for a lot of humans, including parents, when the focus should be outward. So it creates a lot of challenges. I'm faced with that all the time. So it keeps me grounded. It keeps me being thankful.
And directed.
Yes, because you talk to a lot of people. People don't have people to talk to.
Right. No, definitely. Thank you so much for that. Now, you want to talk about, I give you opportunity to talk about, your decision, which we discussed off camera. So that is something very important, and everybody deserve a respect for their, it's like,
Thank you.
Most welcome. So you want to just tell that what drive that decision? Was it you who had committed to your family that has drive it, or any other factor which was main ingredient in your decision making?
Yes. Yes, so I've decided no longer to contest the seat in the 2026, this year's elections. The seat will no longer be called Newlyn, it will be called Waitakere.
Okay.
And so I have decided not to contest the Waitakere seat. There are many reasons. One main reason is that when I started getting involved in politics, I discussed this with my family, my wife and 4 daughters who are now adults. And I said to them, I want to do it. I want to take this opportunity because it's there. But I will do it just for 10 years.
Right.
I did not know that I would get in the 52nd and I will be out in the 53rd. And then with that I felt it was unfinished business, so I ran again.
Right.
And then I won the seat.
It was a good decision.
Yeah. But no one really thought that we would win the seats. I think many factors again allowed that to happen. So that's one factor that I sort of made a promise to my family that I would do this for 10 years. It's been a fantastic 10 years. So that's one big factor. I also turned 60 in last year, 2025. So I'll be 61 this year in June. I wanted to dedicate the next 10 years of my work life into more hands-on, person-to-person engagement.
Right.
I believe in an individual sort of engagement gives the most opportunity for helping that individual. I have learned that in Parliament, while we create the laws that are supposed to help individuals, and while we do deal with person-to-person people who walk in, the politics, it's become counterintuitive, You want to do this, but someone look at you and think, I don't trust you because I don't do your politics. Well, that has nothing to do with the intention to, to reach out.
Definitely. Well, that makes a lot of sense, and thank you so much. I'm seeing the without any. It's like a general public. I can see a normal human being which is talking right now, and I see at the same time it's making me emotional, which is great to hear, because it's great to hear connect, because that's the whole agenda of this interview, right? Because we're not trying to make any fancy stuff. We're just trying to talk, because we can't bluff people, right? And if they're hearing, they know that what you're talking about, am I bullshitting, or this is something which is real. So appreciate that. Thank you so much, Paulo.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. And one word before I let you I turn off the camera, that if you have to choose one word, whole life national, or there are some chances? Once a national, always a national?
Yes, I do believe that. When I started, it wasn't just because the opportunity arose in national. I never really wanted to be a politician. I didn't aspire for it. The opportunity did arise from national. But before that, probably 2 cycles before that, I had already been voting national. And the thing that connects me with national the most, which is different from other parties,
Right.
is that I believe in personal responsibility. You have to really do the best you can. Say, as a father, for my children, and I just need to be given the opportunity to do that.
Definitely.
So I think personal responsibility and looking after your own things, like husbands should look after their wives. This is something that is natural and required of all dads. If you don't, and there are problems along the way, then that is your responsibility. So I believe that, and I think that national is the one that's most connected to that. When I did the campaign, I plant my own veggie garden. So my kids grew up, we would plant our own veggies.
Wow.
So in all of the candidates meetings, people are saying, you should be the green. Why are you with national? And then if I say something like, I want young parents to be given more support, people will say, why are you in national? You should be in labor. But these are just real, genuine concerns of a normal person.
Yeah, and it's not about the color green. It's about the ideology which you follow and you believe, and you feel that matches with the national, which is better. Now, one last question before I let you just go. One question I want to understand, I'm taking a happy bath, if national comes back to the power and they choose no Paulo, I think that there are some responsibilities which has to be taken care by you. Do you think that you still keep the option open?
No. I've already clearly said that I'm stepping off this train.
Wow.
And there had been mixed reactions, of course. And it's not the usual thing, because I also want to leave when national is looking like it has a good chance, because then whoever replaces me has that opportunity also.
Right.
So I don't want to go when it's coming down.
No, thank you so much for being so honest, and I love that answer. I would have expected that you said, yeah, and there can be a possibility, but appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Paulo.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your interest to interview. And
definitely, and thank you so much for talking to Webfit News. And one two-liner, if you want to give to Webfit News viewers, anything looking at the camera.
Thank you, Webfitnews, for this opportunity to interview me. Everyone needs to see the people that they elect, and to think through the people that they will choose to vote for over time. in the next elections. It's important work that Webfit does so that people can see and learn about the people who are involved in the politics of and the governance of New Zealand. Take that responsibility seriously. And thank you, Webfit, for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time, and it was great talking to you.
Thank you.
Signing off. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone.